Hey, Shalom. I want to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shah, Bashem Kakadash. Give honors to my apostles and elders of great millstones. Salutations to the 144,000 and the 130 of the nation of Israel. I'm the brother Kabash from the GMS Atlanta camp, and I'm here with the whole faith of fine lest through the spirit of Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Kakadash, the feet over let with. I'm going to get into this post that Officer Shamak from our camp, GMS Atlanta camp, posted the other day. It's hitting exactly what the scriptures talked about concerning the prophecies of Israel, all of the 12 tribes. And in this particular post is mainly hitting the northern kingdom, which are the so-called Latinos and Hispanics. You have the Native American, so-called Native American Indians, which are the Gadites, and so-called Seminary Indians, Reubenites. It's part of the northern kingdom, but more so they're aiming for the northern kingdom concerning so-called Latinos and Hispanics. And it all goes back to prophecies before, when Assyria invaded Samaria. Several prophets prophesied about it. The prophet Hosea, the prophet Isaiah, just to name a couple. They prophesied the downfall of the northern kingdom as a whole. And that happened around 722 BCE. Way before the Lord came on the scene around 4 BC, which that is fulfilling of another prophecy. But the main point I hit was proving that it's been prophecies about the northern kingdom going into captivity before, but that same thing is happening right now too, because there's nothing new under the sun. So the same thing that was happening back then is happening now. So right here in this post, it reads, everything Georgia, X.com or Twitter.com. There's a rumor that ISIS or ICE might be coming to the Atlanta area for raids today and tomorrow. And prove that the Northern Kingdom went through the same thing in the ancient world, which a lot of these teachings that we getting from the Bible, they have in the secular history. And, they trying to hide this fact that we are the children of Israel. But you got other scholars, notable scholars, might I add, those that was renowned in their time, or they learned from a renowned scholar. They got real high valuable information about the people of Israel. Some of them were sent on missions, to record it. Even Christopher Columbus wrote about so-called Native American being Israel. Spaniards, they knew that the Aztecs and Mayans were people of the Lord too as well. So adding all the history up, the chronological history up to, these modern day times really shows that, the Lord did say he was going to raise up his people in the last days, which if he's raising up his people, that means that what is going to be revealed. So it being revealed, meaning somebody has to show it, or somehow it has to be shown. It's being shown through the men of the Lord that's bringing out this information. Men of the Lord, Hebrew Israelites. You have several different Hebrew Israelite groups out here, but the main source is going back to where it all started. It started from One West up in Harlem, and over a period of time it branched out. But once it started, the truth started to flood Israel. started to flood so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, so-called Native American Indians with this truth, and that's how it came about with us revealing the truth and showing it, because the Lord planted men to preach His truth, to give the understanding of His truth. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get that in the book of Jeremiah chapter 3 verse 15. Then I'm gonna hit a couple of other scriptures too. So right here it says 2 Kings Jeremiah. This is the book of Jeremiah chapter 3 verse 3 verse 15, and it reads, "And I will give you pastors according to my heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding." So the Lord said He was going to what? He was going to give us pastors, teachers, in other words. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get this blue letter. See if I can get this blue letter. Let me see. This is a My Sword app, by the way, for you new beginners. A lot of times we do go out of the blue letter Bible, but you have other apps that can pull the strongholds, give you definitions that's similar in certain scholars to give certain commentaries. They can open up to you what the scriptures is talking about. But the main truth really comes from the Lord's men. So right here it says, "And I will give you pastors." Let's look up the word pastor. The Strong's H7462. The Strong's H is the Hebrew link to the origin of whatever word we're looking up. So right here it says Ra'ah. And it says to pasture, tend, graze, feed. So it's like shepherd what cares for the sheep. And right here it says companion, keep company with, devour, eat up evil, and treat right here to shepherd or ruler or teacher. So you see teacher right here. And teacher what? Teaches what? The scriptures. It says, "How then shall a young man, how should one believe if he have not been taught?" But a teacher, also called a school teacher or formerly an educator. To educate means to draw what was from within. So it's already in us, because we're Israelites. The Lord is extracting it or pulling out of us, like it says in Jude chapter 1, concerning revealing this truth unto us, and us bringing it being brought back into remembrance in our minds, so the awakening of the Lord can appear. It says, "Is a person who helps students to acquire knowledge, competence, or virtue via or through the practice of teaching. Informally, the role of a teacher may be taken on by anyone." Right, you don't have to go to school or whatnot, theological seminar, no. The Lord blesses with this truth because we're His people, and this truth is our heritage. So I will give you pastors, Jeremiah 3:15, "I will give you pastors according to my heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding." Knowledge and understanding of what? These scriptures. So I'm going to get this in Hosea chapter 9. Going into one of the prophecies. And guess what? It's going to get worse, man, for all of us. Because they ain't just starting at and ending at within the northern kingdom. So right here it says Hosea chapter 9 verse 1, rejoice not, O Israel, for joy as other people, for thou hast gone a whoring from thy power. So, and as you can see, Israel is doing that to this day. That the same thing that I'm reading about now is what Israel was doing back then. Worshiping other idols, committing adultery, fornication, then into concupiscence, lewdness, just evil doings, murderers, thieves. They just into all type of activities, and especially not turning to the Lord, praying to Him, and committing His ways. Say, love the Lord with all your heart, mind, and soul. And Israel ain't doing it. They worship. They celebrating the Day of the Dead, fest. Some other Hispanics, especially Jake down in Ecuador, Argentina, and whatnot. They dig up dead bodies out of the graves to get some type of good luck. These niggas be going off. They into voodoo. They busybodies. It says, for thou hast gone a whoring from thy power, thou hast loved a reward upon every corn floor. Especially the cartel over there, which I think a lot of them niggas are Spaniards, because they are fucking ruthless, man. But you got ruthless Jakes out there. And then they don't get caught by doing this shit, they gonna keep doing it to the death. That's how a lot of, mainly Northern Kingdom, was on the left-hand side. You never had a good Northern Kingdom ruler. That's why the Lord uprooted them first. And this is what we're going into. So right here says, a lot of Jake, they get into all type of wickedness with money laundering and backdooring each other. Like I mentioned, the cartel. The Lord gonna fuck these people up, man. Especially what they doing to their own people. Jake that ain't even, doing no wickedness, staying amongst them. They getting rid of them for not even working for the cartel down in Mexico, I heard. And then up here too is the same. It's probably even worse. Jake doing it legally now to mess over other Israelites, the Northern Kingdom and the Southern Kingdom. So it's just a lot of sins Jake is stacking up to where it's like now the Lord is judging them. And essentially he's going to judge all the 12 tribes. Southern Kingdom is going to get it too. They hit up Session A and all, the WIC program, which come to find out a lot of Edomites be using those programs up and not Jake. But it's not about Esau right now. Esau's going to get his. These other nations, they're going to get they share of the judgments too, because of the wickedness they did to the Lord and also to His creation. Effing up the world, poison, wicked philosophies, all that. It puts a stumbling block in front of Jake, but Jake ain't got the Spirit of the Lord on him. And another thing too, the Spirit of the Lord is only given to a few. So when this judgment comes down, a lot of Jake, they gonna die, whether over here or whether when they get deported. Because as soon as America start getting tighter, all these other countries are going to get super tight too. Everything is going to be scarce. It's not going to be all right, everybody moving wherever they move to, and then everything is back to normal. It's peace, calm, people can make their living. Nah, these world leaders and these gurus, these damn gangsters, mobsters, all these niggas, they about to start cracking down on a lot of you everyday people. And it ain't gonna be pretty. You know what I'm saying? It's literally gonna get ugly for everybody. The everyday person, the person that's doing underhanded shit. Right here it says, verse 2, the floor and the wine press should not feed them, and the new wine should fail in her. Yeah, a lot of you jakes over here, the Northern Kingdom, y'all, y'all set on y'all leaves. A lot of y'all landing 6-figure jobs, going into entrepreneurship. You know what I'm saying? You got your stores, you got your auto shops. You will lead with Esau over here. You got your firms, your law firms, your dental practices. The Lord said, "What? He loaded you with benefits, but you shunned at His hand. You shunned at His hand. You rejected Him, and He's about to reject you. So don't take this this ISIS thing lightly, because there's going to be another wave too about cutting back on a lot of stuff in America, or just taxing people real high to where like the everyday living is a burden. Now you'll never spend time with your family. Niggas can't wait for the weekend so they can chill. So right here it says, verse 3, they should not dwell in the Lord's land, but Ephraim, see, the Lord kicked Jake out. And the Lord's about to do the same thing right now, even though we ain't in our land of Israel, but the Lord's about to just get rid of you Jakes. Remember, He said in Zechariah chapter 13, He said, He said, I will cut 2/3 of Israel off. And He cut them off. He said, I will cut 2/3 of Israel off the land. But it's not literally the land itself, because all Israel wasn't in the land at a certain point in time, especially after the fall or the separation of the Northern Kingdom and the Southern Kingdom. So you can really link that up or shadow it with a metaphor of the Lord's cutting Jake out of this land, aka America, or elsewhere in the world. Because like I said, it's just gonna get worse and worse and worse. So right, it says, but Ephraim should return to Egypt, and they should eat unclean things in Assyria. Yeah, and that happened back then, and that's gonna happen in these times. Because Jake that still dwell over here, they're gonna take the chip. They not gonna be scot-free, even if they haven't been cut off by deportation or just simply being hauled off in detention camps like ISIS doing. And then right here it says, verse 4, it says, they should not offer wine offers to the Lord, neither shall they be pleasing unto Him. Their sacrifices shall be unto them as the bread of mourners. All that eat thereof shall be polluted, for their bread, for their soul shall not come into the house of the Lord. What will ye do in the solemn day, and then the day of the feast of the Lord? For lo, they are gone because of destruction. Egypt should gather them up. Memphis should bury them. Yeah, and that's talking about our captivity. We wasn't going into Egypt again, but this Egypt is talking about is America spiritually. Memphis was a treasure city in Egypt, so that's metaphor of being a part of that captivity. And America is burying a lot of you Northern Kingdom Jakes. So right here it says, the pleasant places for their silver nettles should possess them, thorns should be in their tabernacles. The days of visitation are come, the days of recompense are come. Israel should know it. The prophet is a fool, the spiritual man is mad for the multitude of thy iniquity and the great hatred. Yeah, Jake wasn't on their watch. Even the northern kingdom rejected the southern kingdom. Basically rejected them for not coming to Israel or Jerusalem and celebrating the high holy days. In the northern kingdom, they start to do business with the other nations, the heathen nations outside of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, the southern kingdom. When after they split, so they were just going off. So same thing is happening right now. You don't have a lot of northern kingdoms out there, except for in California. But you don't have a lot of northern kingdom in these camps. It's more so Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Gad. You can say the other tribes. Ain't no telling, because all the 12 tribes of Israel is over here. Some look like Negroes, but they may be of the northern kingdom descent. So right here it says, verse 8, the watchman of Ephraim was with my power, but the prophet is a snare of a father, in all his ways in hatred in the house of his power. So I'm gonna get another one. 2 Kings chapter 17. I think around the 3rd verse. Okay, I'm gonna start at verse 1. 2 Kings chapter 17 verse 1. In the 12th year of Uzziah, king of Judah, began Hoshea, the son of Elah, to reign in Samaria over Israel 9 years. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, but not as the kings of Israel that were before him. Against him came up Shalmaneser, king of Assyria, and Hoshea. And Hoshea became his servant and gave him presents. And the king of Assyria found conspiracy in Hoshea, for he had sent messengers to sow king of Egypt, and brought no present to the king of Assyria, as he had done year by year. Therefore the king of Assyria shut him up and bound him in prison. Then the king of Assyria came up throughout all the land and went up to Samaria and besieged it 3 years. And in the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel away into Assyria and placed them in Halah and in Habor by the river of Gozan, and in the cities of the Medes. For so it was that the children of Israel had sinned against the Lord, their power, which had brought them up out of the land of Egypt, from under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and had fear of the gods, and walked in the statutes of the heathens, whom the Lord cast out from before the children of Israel, and of the kings of Israel which they had made. And the children of Israel did secretly those things that were not right against the Lord, their power, and they built them high places in all their cities, from the tower of the watchmen to the fenced cities. And they set them up images in groves in every high hill and under every green tree. And that's what Jacob's doing now. And guess what? The Lord's about to fuck their ass up. But this time, it's going to be worse. It's going to be worse. And then too, after this destruction of the northern kingdom, a lot of them coming back in the next lifetime with shame and contempt. They're going to know what they did wrong in this life, because this is the last call according to the Lord, having us to go through this sin life. Every time we was reincarnated before this time, we was paying what we did for our sins in the last life. But this time around, this is the last time. And Jake ain't committing to it. Jake ain't trying to repent. Jake ain't turning back to the Lord, even though he has his men out here to teach. I just read Jeremiah 3:15, going into the pastors. The pastor talking about the teachers that's feeding the Lord's people with understanding and knowledge, mainly the men. And the men teach they women and children. It's an order to it. Not like these churches out here today. And I just came across an article I put in the chat. It was this Evite, or a so-called black woman, when she was invited to a church, and they turned her around because they said she was black. I guess she must have went with a white coworker or Asian coworker. You know, them other nations, man. They are the mixed bowl, man. You know, they join hand in hand with each other, man. They be doing BS like this, but you Jay should already read the energy anyway, because that's what we are. We're spiritual people. And then on top of that, your experience through life should have just taught you like this shit ain't rocking right. But Jake don't learn. Jake don't know their histories. It's not a black brown thing. It's a spiritual thing. We the people of the Lord. But that's why they did it to her, because she's an Israelite. And they know there ain't no damn Israelite. Them people in those churches, man, they are in that replacement theology mindset, which Esau planted in the world. Isaiah 25:7, the Lord is coming back to take that veil off these people's eyes that Esau, the so-called white man, aka the serpent, that old dragon, Esau, the inner counterpart of Satan, spiritual demon Satan works through this nigga. He did it. Why? Because the earth is given into his hands. All these wars and stuff that he ever started and won, the Lord was behind him winning all the way up to this point, just like he did with Pharaoh, king of Egypt in the ancient world, when he saved Israel. Prior to that, the Lord let Pharaoh get his wins in, to where it became they was a superpower back then. Egypt, ancient Egypt. Same thing with this devil. Even though you have other nationalities and world leaders, but the top one is Esau, the so-called white man. The Lord's about to come back and tear him down. He's the modern day Pharaoh. He's about to come into this Egypt, land of the north, to get us up out of here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get that. And I think it's okay, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, verse 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, be in those days, said the Lord, that it should no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth means he's still what? He's still living. The God of the Bible is still living. And guess what? He's coming back to this earth in this time. We don't know when, we don't know the date, but he can come at any time. And the signs of him coming is written in this doctrine, in this book, this Bible, with the Apocrypha included, because they took out the Apocrypha. 1611 King James Version, the Apocrypha was in the Bible after the book of Malachi, and it made sense according to chronological time settings, according to the world history. So you line all that up through the Spirit, man. We are in these times. We literally living in these times, man. 2 chapter 9, the Lord told Ezra, measure the times diligently within itself. You got it from the apostles and the elders on down to even younger brothers in the affiliate camps. It's showing the signs of the times, especially with the two major prophecies, the MOTB. Then, you got Jacob's trouble. That's another prophecy. Matter of fact, it's the third one. Because, you got the Jacob's trouble, the MOTB in that order. Then you have the nuclear bombs. And around that time, which is the third woe, the Lord's going to come back. Those that got the chip, they're going to be burned in that war. Which the war contains what? Nuclear missiles that's going to be shot elsewhere in the world, especially over in America. It's going to be 200 million missiles shot over here in America that's going to make America look like a lake of fire. Ever went out to a lake and just see a number of water deep? That's how deep America gonna be in fire, man. A lot of you people gonna be burnt in that fire that took that chip, and the chip is gonna be mandatory before 2030. Cash is gonna be no more in use by 2027. There's articles on that. So we got a lot to look forward to. Israel, a lot of good things, even though there's a lot of bad things, but the bad things ain't for us. We just got to go through it. Some of us will be martyrs, witnesses that got their life taken. But those that did, they're going to come back first. They're going to be raised first in their new bodies. They're going to come back with the Lord when he comes back to the earth. 1 Thessalonians 4:16 goes to that. And also 1 Corinthians chapter 15, around the 52nd verse. We that's still living, we're going to be changed into the twinkling of an eye. But those that are still living, I don't know if I'm going to live or not, but Lord will, I pray I'll be a weapon of the Lord, man. With spiritual powers, But hey, who knows? But yeah, man, that's what's going to happen. Lord's coming into this Egypt, spiritual Egypt, but the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north. North what? North America. See, Lord be dropping clues too. He dropping clues that lines up with modern day concerning his prophecies. Because everything is prophecy. This whole book is all about prophecy. It has prophecy in it. It's one of the four factors. You got history, you got writings, you got the law, and then you got the prophecies. And they all line up with each other. And the prophecies talking about what future events before it happens. Things said before it happens. That's what prophecy means. And then you got the creator, so you add that up. The Almighty Creator is saying something that ain't even that hasn't happened yet, but it's going to happen. The signs is leading up to that. All it is what belief now, because a lot of people, like I said, the Spirit ain't dealing with them. He's only dealing with a few, and he's revealing it to the few. It says, and from all the lands. So not only are the 144,000 1/3, which essentially I think the 1/3, well not think, but maybe the 1/3 only in America. And not in not in elsewhere in the world. But I gotta look up videos too concerning that. But I know all the 2/3 of Israel is here in America, and it makes sense. So right here it says, "But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers." So the Lord's going to have us to go over to the land of Israel again. Israel is going to be nuked too. It's going to be bombed. But it's talking about after. Because after a certain time, we're going to come back down, like it's written in Revelations. We're going to come back down from the sky, or should I say the heavens. And we're going to build Israel all the way back over again. So this is a future prophecy. And it says, verse 16, "Behold, I was sent from many fishers." We fishing. We fish for Jake. Just like Yahushua had 12 apostles to fish for Israel, and other disciples that came after them. That's happening right now. The Lord is having to where he has his fishermen, the pastors, to fish Jake before that great judgment day. Because those who the Lord allowed his men to fish are going to be saved in the time when he comes back. A lot of you that's going to be fished is going to catch a hell on this side first. So you can be washed. Because in the kingdom of heaven, a lot of people is going to be revealed with shame and contempt. And everybody not just going to be in the kingdom of heaven acting like it's all good. They got to have shame and contempt. And we going to be the ones to look down on them. They're going to bow down to us. So right here it says, Israel for a time, but the other nations is going to be like that forever. But that's literally going to happen. So right here it says, "And they should fish them, and after will I send for many hunters, and they should hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks." So the Lord said he's going to send for many hunters. Yeah, the hunters is going to get 2/3 of Israel. And the hunters is going to get these other nations and also the elite of these other nations. Going to pull them out of their bunkers, wherever mountain or underground bunkers or out of space station that they hiding at. We're gonna get them. We're gonna apprehend them from there. So we got a lot to look forward to, but also we got to look forward to the time of Jacob's trouble. So Jake, repent, get right with the Lord, wash your hands, keep your hands clean. Get ready, because it's about to be a shift, another shift. But it's all towards the kingdom of heaven. So with that, I'm going to say shalom.